Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this Sunday weekly analysis. Usually, this is the best part of my week prior to the new week because I actually also get time to just prepare for my trading week. So, guys, it's been a fantastic run so far. Last week was really good. Let me just go on the lower time frame and I can just show you why I say that. You guys know I trade gold, right? Gold and US 30. And last week was really nice because this is a move that happened on Friday. And I mean, we pushed up about 100 pips thereabouts from this breakout. But before that on Thursday, because usually I don't necessarily look at the market or rather trade on Fridays. So I didn't take this particular trade, but this is a trade that I was in. And guys, this was just a beautiful trade that um, went up about 236 pips and then consolidated most of the morning on Friday and then mid-afternoon thereabouts around 3 p.m. Kenyan time, 3:30 going to New York session open. It's also decided to climb up again. So last week was really good. In fact, we've had a couple of good weeks. And I just needed to just say this because sometimes we forget to celebrate when we have really good weeks in the market and we're always just looking at the negative side, like when you're losing money and I know a trade hits stop loss and you're in a drawdown and things like that. But I just want to say we've had a couple of good runs and give you a case in point. Like last week we did in our signals group we did about 90, what was it 90. Our average win with regards to our signals for the week was about 92.33%. Our total wins in terms of pips and points, we garnered about 1,500 points, pips, and our losses about 116. So that's about less than 10%, like literally. And then so we did pretty well. And what I really liked was you were able to also just look at the month of September as a whole. And since we started with our signals group in March, March was like we hit an average win of about 79%, 79.6%. And then on to April was 88. April was a really good month. And then we dipped a bit in May, we were at 84%. June, we were at 89.5. July, we were at 86.7. August, 87.8. So technically, in the last 6 months prior to September, we did pretty well. We maintained an average win rate of 80%. And then September was actually a really awesome because we got to 92.92%. Now, guys, you also need to I don't know if you understand what this means to me as a trader and to somebody who gives signals. This is something that is really nerve-wracking. A lot of people disagree or don't like traders who give signals and things like that, and I do understand it. Why? Because what happens is traders then get dependent on the signals and forget to just get into the trading themselves, and they're just always on the signals, and that's fine. But and yes, some people don't like that, but we also forget that there are people in the market who have been at this game for quite a while and are just not winning. And so if I can give signals and people are making money, or even if they don't use them, but there's evidence that they're profitable, I mean, it kind of gives somebody confidence who's new to the market in terms of they've been trading for a while, but they just need to be able to see, okay, how do I get into the market? So the signals are also, they're not for you to just copy paste, but they're there for you to also just look at the parameters, and then you can then go to the chart yourself and look at everything, especially if you already got into the market and I've given you the ranges. Let's say I've said 50 pips on a currency, or said 100 or 200 pips on gold or the indices, you can actually just look and trend. And from the signals, you can actually have an idea of what I am seeing. So that's the purpose of my signals. So I don't just give signals that people can copy paste. I also want guys to um, use them to actually gauge later on. Okay, are these are the parameters that I give in terms of especially the intraday longer targets good to go, and what am I seeing and things like that. You get to learn a lot. So I'm really excited also because before, when I used to give signals in my free group, I didn't really pay attention to the risk per se, in terms of I'll tell you, get in at this level, get out at this level, and then put your stop loss at 30 pips or whatever. And but I never really paid attention to the stop loss bit of it, because I was like, you know what, you decide how much you want to risk and things like that. But you find that in such a scenario, a lot of traders will still copy paste the trades, and they'll still not know where to put their stop losses or how much to risk and things like that. So what the paid subscription did for me was that now that people are actually subscribing to the service, I had to put my back into it a bit. I had to kind of like um, be a bit more pedantic about the way I look at the market and how I place my parameters. Like my entries really have to be on point, and my risk to reward has to really be good, or at least high, at above two, 1:2, 1:3 and above. And stop loss was a major thing. Like I stopped telling people 30 pips. In fact, I was like, you know what, it doesn't make sense for me to give you a stop loss of 30 pips. That's being lazy. So I had to, the only way for me to reduce my stop loss was if I improved on my entries. And guys, over the last 3 months, for sure, we have done so well in the signals group. We have literally reduced our stop losses to like from 30 pips, 25 pips, 40 pips. We're now doing stop losses of like 6 pips, 5 pips, sometimes 4 pips, 10 pips. Usually maximum would be like 10 pips on the currencies. If it's like gold or indices, I usually do like 25 to 30 pips. So we've really, 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 really improved. And just going by it, guys, I mean, there are days like we hit like 95% average win, which is really, really good. So um my goal is to just maintain the win rate at 90% and above. That's my sincere goal, guys. And to just keep those stop losses tight, like I even if you get hit and you're like 7 pips down, you're still in the market. Even if, let's say, you're on $100 account and you over leveraged, and you put a lot size of one, okay, which is crazy. You lose $70, yes, but you still have 30 to play with. Of course, I'm not encouraging that. Please do not over leverage your accounts. If you're trading anything below $500, please stick to 0.01 lot size, or 0.02, 0.03. Like, don't gamble. And I say this with a lot of humility. The market has really, really humbled me over the last 2.5 years. In fact, okay, guys, I've also been saying that I've been trading for 3 years, almost 4 years. It's a lie. I didn't know that. I just started the other day. I started learning Forex in December 2018. So it just occurred to me last week or the week before, I think it was last week, I was like, wait, 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 wait. I've actually just been in this business for 2.5 years. So it makes sense why I mean, the things that I'm learning now are, this is when I need to learn them, and this is when I'm learning them. So it's not really late. The first part of my trading was really just me, just trying desperately to make money in this market and failing miserably. And then I began to pick myself up slowly within after 1.5 years, going to 2 years is when now I was like, okay, fine. I'm actually now starting to get this thing called trading. And now I'm really, really, really happy and confident about my progress and where I am. And that's why I was like, you know what, guys, I'm ready. I'm now ready to, charge for my signals. And not because, let me tell you, let me also be honest. The signals, me charging for the signals, it doesn't make me money. Signals doesn't make me money. Personally, as a trader, I'll not lie to you. But I do it because it helps me to be accountable for the trade ideas that I give out. I don't want to be I don't want to be kind of like blasé when I tell somebody buy Euro USD because I don't really care whether it hits or not, you know. But because I started charging, I started taking it a bit more seriously, and hence what I'm telling you about the stop loss. I improved on my stop losses. I also started using stop loss. I confess, I never used to use stop loss, but now I do, you know. So yeah, so it's been a really good journey. And you know, guys, if you want to try out my signals group, I really encourage you, take it for a month. You know, it's $50 a month. I mean, it's $50 that yes, you pay and you may never get it back. But it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot because I mean, we've been hitting 200 pips on gold, 200 pips on GBP pairs like GBP, JPY last week hit 200 pips plus indices, you know, German 30, Eurocard. I mean, we've been doing pretty well on the currencies about 50 pips and above. So even if you get 10 pips of those on the signals, I mean, it's not bad. Anyway, I digress because this is the Sunday weekly analysis, but I just needed to do that intro because I'm really excited. 7 months of hard labor in quotes, and we have significantly improved on our trading. And I'm really, really happy about that. So I just wanted to share my joy. And honestly, I thank God because, whoa, this is for me, I always attribute my success as a trader to God, and just the fact that I've really, really, really struggled in this industry over the last couple of years, the 1 or 2 years, and 1.5 years. Really, really, if I was to share my story, it would be crazy because some of you would be like, I don't want to trade, you know, if that's what trading is like, you know, but I don't do that now because I know there are people out there who need the encouragement, and they'll go through their own journey. And even if I tell them this is how it's going to be, or this is my experience, may not be your experience. You may come into this market 6 months in, you're killing it. You're killing it. You're just, you know, and I wish that for all of you. But I just keep on saying, attribute your success to God because I think it's important. That aside, guys, that aside, back to the analysis. Now, because I've taken time talking, I am going to try and do this as quickly as I can so that you guys can have a full view. So, gold, you guys know I always start with gold. It's my baby, gold and US 30. So on gold, like we said last week, we kind of dropped a bit, and then we climbed again. So you can see this rejection here on this candle was quite major. Okay. But we did drop until about 1721. Okay. 1720 thereabouts. 1720.08 thereabouts. Yeah. We took out some liquidity and then we began to push up. And honestly, I think we are not yet quite ready to get to the 1668, 1670 level, which is where I'm actually targeting long term. I'm bearish, not really I'm bearish, but long term, this is a level that I think will be visited or revisited at some point. You know, these levels of equal lows. But with last week's bullish kind of move, you can see the last couple of weeks, gold has been very bearish. But I think now there's a bit of respite. This Friday, this new week of October, yeah, it's a new month. This new week of October, this Friday is NFP. So my feeling is that NFP might push the price of gold up, but we'll get to see what happens. So I'm kind of thinking we'll push up. If I look on my lower time frame, usually, okay, if I look at, let's say, the 8 hour, it's looking bullish to me right now. But you know, we could, I feel like we should push up and just grab liquidity up here. I think, you know, it looks bullish to me. I look at the 1 hour, also is looking bullish to me. Like we can see this strong rally and then a bit of a consolidation here. I think this is just a reaccumulation. And gold is going to keep on pushing higher. And I'm targeting, let's say, 1770 on a shorter term. Like I'm really hoping it gets there. That's what I'll be looking at. I'm also saying that because I'm in a trade. I accidentally forgot to close a trade on Friday. I entered a random trade on Friday when I was looking at I actually said I didn't trade, but I entered gold and I was in a buy. And I forgot about it completely. But I mean I was like on a small lot size, so I'm okay with that. And I'm just like, I hope it closes in blue when the market opens, because I don't really like um, keeping trades over the weekend. But as you can see, we are bullish. I'm quite bullish on gold. 70 level, 70 80 level is a target I'm hoping that we'll get to this week, or tomorrow when the market opens, tomorrow Tuesday. Then maybe even towards NFP we may push lower. We're kind of in a range right now on the lower time frame, as you guys can see. So I'm really hoping that we kind of push up. And if we don't, even if we push down, we'll just be pushing down to take out liquidity and then continue to the upside. Okay, so I'm still bullish on gold. As we said, weekly, we are looking like we're pushing up on the daily. I believe I didn't look at the daily, but definitely looking bullish. 8 hour looking bullish, 1 hour looking bullish, 5 minute looking bullish in my scenario. But I said if the market doesn't open bullish and it drops, just know it's doing so to go and grab liquidity in the lower levels before it continues to the upside. That's really my take. Okay, I'm bullish. So that's gold. Let me look at US 30. US 30 Dow Jones Industrial Average. For those who don't know what Dow Jones is, those are like I think the 30 top 30 top industrial companies, the huge companies. Maybe it's 30 or 50. So this is an index, and like all indices, let me go on the higher time frame. So the index market, dropped as well last week, and it closed bearish. Now I have this sneaky feeling that we could be 50-50 here, right? We're still very bearish. I feel like, you know, there's possibility we could just keep pushing lower. But then again, I'm 50-50 about that. Long term, I am bullish on US 30. I'm not yet bearish. This pair just looks, it just looks bearish to me. Despite the previous week being bullish, I think, this was just like a bit of a correction and then continuation down. So I'm bearish. Okay. On the weekly, if I look on the daily, wait, how far are we from? So what happened is we took out liquidity down here. So we may actually open bullish. Okay, we may open bullish tomorrow. Today, the market opens later today, midnight, 11 p.m. I think Kenyan time, midnight. Because we did push down, took out previous liquidity and everything, but because we closed bearish, we may just open bearish. Okay, that's really what I'm thinking. And if we do and start pushing lower, we may be targeting a 33,017. Although that's really far. That's like 1,200 pips. But you guys know US 30, it moves 200 pips in a session. And can move 200 pips in both directions if it wants. So in next week is in a few weeks, so we may see very volatile moves, but we can see there's been a lot of volatility, a lot of it. When I look at the daily, we're looking bullish. Okay, so weekly we're looking kind of bearish, but on the daily we're looking bullish. And weekly the only reason we're looking bearish is because we actually really pushed lower and then we pushed up again later in the week. So I'm thinking the way we are looking, you see where I placed this last week, we didn't quite get there. So I'm still thinking we're going to target this 34,890 zone or level. Okay. Let me look at the 8 hour. We're looking bullish. Look at the 1 hour. Still looking bullish. So I'm thinking, hey, 34,890 is not a bad place to head to. Okay. I'm seeing like this level, as you can see, is pretty much a key point of interest for me. So I think that price will actually push up to the 34,890 and then it will push down. So it'll probably push up like this and then bounce back down and probably try and go to the lower levels here, take out this level and continue, or even just take out liquidity there and then continue to the upside. But this for me, 34,890 on the near term is actually a target I would be looking at on market open. 527 pips, so that's quite something. But that's what I'm really targeting. I'm bullish on US30 as well. If anything changes on market open, I'll probably drop a short during maybe tomorrow to just update this view. But let's look at it critically. I think we are bullish. We've already taken out this previous low, and I feel like we're just going out to take now grab liquidity. The upside, there's quite a bit of sell side liquidity up here. So that's my take. So that's US30. Now we look at GBP USD. So I like to trade GU and GBP JPY, which is GJ. And GBP pairs got a pounding. That sounds so wrong, but it got, I mean, they really, let me clear my chart. Really dropped last week. Really, really. But then we got to this zone here, this key point of interest, and we kind of rejected. And I feel like, we could see some correction happening this week. Yeah. We may see some correction happening. I'm not so sure that we are yet to scale the lower levels, but that just depends on what happens. We kind of, let me just look at this bigger time. So what we are seeing is, I mean, this low is the lowest GU has ever been in the last forever. Okay, so that's why I think like, okay, we've dealt with this low, we've dealt with it, and now we are just going to begin to push up. So this was kind of like a retracement last week, and I feel like we left some pending liquidity up here. So I am kind of bullish on GU. Okay, so I'm kind of bullish on G. If I look at the daily. So technically, right about now, I mean, even if we drop, okay, I am like, I'm more biased for us to open higher, but the daily, is looking precarious. This could actually be a distribution of price. We've been in a distribution phase. Up here, we dropped, continue to redistribute, and then, this is a redistribution in a distribution phase. So we may actually, if we don't break up to the upside, if we don't take out this high here at the 1.38 zone, there 37472 and 38 zone, I think we will continue to drop. Okay, because we broke a major, another major low here. So we may continue to drop, but my hope is that we will just keep climbing up. But when I look at it now, we may just continue to drop if we do not. Let me just. What I'm seeing is if we don't like, what happened is we pushed lower, broke this lows here because after this rally, this was the major base right here, and then we bounced off of it, and then we broke through the first time, broke through the second time, attempted to push up. But what we are also seeing is that we are forming lower highs. So if you're forming lower highs, we are looking very bearish. And right about now, we actually broke these lows, dropped below these lows, and the pressure looks down. So we may bounce. So this is a scenario we may like push up here, maybe into this zone, bounce off. Okay, so we may push up there and then push down. Okay, and maybe push up again and continue to the downside. So I'm feeling like we need to push up here and then drop if at all we are bearish. If not, we could just now rally all the way. But right now, when I look at it on the daily now, we are looking bearish. Yeah, we're looking bearish on GBP USD. But again, if I see something different upon market open, I'll probably update it in a short video. Update you guys. So let's look at GBP JPY. Okay, my computer is hanging, guys. I need a new laptop, man. My laptops, I have two laptops. One, the charger is dead, and it's the one that works well. This one just keeps hanging. It just hangs, like right about now we are hanging. So anyway, GJ was also bearish last week. So I'm anticipating the same drill. Hello. I don't know what's happening. Okay, there we go. There we go. Sorry about that slight interruption in broadcasting. So that's GBP JPY. Same drill, okay? Kind of looking, slightly different from GU, okay? It quite did not, like break this previous low, but I feel like we are bearish. Yes, definitely, at least on the daily, okay? Weekly looking bearish, daily also looking bearish. Even with this rejection, I feel like the pressure is still down. We're still rallying down. There's a rally down. There's a bit of a base here that has formed, and I think we're gonna really drop. So I'm bearish on GBP JPY as I was bearish on GU. But if anything changes, I will update you guys in a short. So that's GJ, and then we have Euro CAD. I'm just looking at the pairs I like looking at. That's it. That is it. Euro CAD is looking really bearish, guys. Like it feels like we still have ways to go down here. So about 280 pips more to go. So what I'm seeing is like it rallied up, kind of consolidated here, formed a bit of a distribution, and then I feel like we could be in a redistribution. And you can see the market closed bearish, and I think even on the weekly we did close very bearish. So I'm just like 1.43724 is a level that we will definitely reach. I mean, lower highs, low highs, low highs, low highs. What more do you want, guys? And this is a target I was actually targeting. This 1.46025 is my last week's target that Euro CAD didn't get to, okay? But look at what happened, okay? We are so near. We are so near this target. We are kind of like 48 pips away. I really think the market will open bearish. So, yo. And then we have Euro AUD. Also looking bearish. But let's see. Yeah, it closed bearish, looking like it still wants to, repeat performance, but let me look at the daily. Yeah, we closed bearish, guys. So there could be some zone here, possibly 1.54178 or even just the 55,000 level. About 300 pips away. Yeah, so there's some distance. We are looking that way. If I just look at AUD USD, we may be looking bullish. Yeah, AUD USD is looking bullish, so that confirms my bias for Euro AUD being bearish. So already that's it. AUD USD, I don't need to look at it too much. I'm looking at it pushing up. I want to look at Euro JPY, bearish liquidity. There's a lot of liquidity downsides. And we could just target the 125, 510 or the 126 level. Let me see how many pips that is. But before about 300. But before that, we may see a bit of a rejection. Okay, we may see a bit of a rejection, a push up. That's what I would be anticipating. Maybe a bit of a rejection up, and then we can push lower. Okay, to the low, previous low of the week, of the day, the previous daily low here. Alternatively, we could forget the whole pushing up thing and just drop. Okay, but technically we are bearish on Euro JPY. So we are bearish technically on the Euro pairs. How they do open, though, will really determine how your entry is tomorrow or tonight. But on the whole, we're looking at the weekly perspective, daily perspective, so higher time frame. So yeah. So we've looked at three currency pairs and one index and one metal. So, and I also looked at AUDUSD, so that's four pairs. So those are the main pairs I usually trade. But let's just look at, let's say, USD JPY. I know there are people who like trading it. USD JPY has been very bullish. Let me look at the weekly. Yeah, we've been very bullish. What happened is we took out previous levels of liquidity up here. So I feel like we're going to begin to, this is a really nice rejection up here. So I feel like we may begin to push lower, just on a retracement kind of thing. But long term, I mean, we've been pushing up. This is like a rally up as a base, and it might be a continuation to the upside. So with that being said, we still have highs here that need to be taken out. And this is a possibility that, you know, if you look at it from the retail concept where people are looking at trading W patterns and things like that, this is looking bullish. Okay. But with this rejection candle here, I don't know if the bullish run will start immediately the market opens, or we'll see some retracement lower about, let's say, 100 pips, 200 pips, thereabouts. But let me look at the daily, and that's what we are seeing right now. So I feel like we will definitely push lower. Okay. We'll definitely, that's what I'm anticipating. Like, we should push lower, like about 100, 250 pips. So we may see a movement like, you know, drop, and then we might bounce off and continue, and then maybe continue to the upside, you know, something like that. That's really what I'm looking at. But I really want to, you know, if we do break this level here, break through this level here, okay, what I'll want is, before I do take a continuation pattern down, I probably want price to do this. I probably want price to like push lower and then come back up here, and then dang, you know, that'll be a really nice opportunity. So look out for that. Either these are the two ideas: either this price will push down, come back in, retest and drop, or we will see this kind of W formation happening. I know retail people will see this and be like, yay, baby. But yeah, I think we did take out liquidity already, and I feel like we are bearish. So I am bearish on USD JPY. Okay, so let's look at Euro USD, one of the most popularly traded pairs. Whoa, we closed very bullish, but we've kind of found a bottom on the daily. If I look at the weekly, yeah, we kind of, you know, so it's 50-50 what might happen, yeah, but we're still looking very bearish, guys, on the weekly. Very, very bearish. Like, what we are seeing is like 3 or 5 weeks ago, we dropped, and then we kind of pushed, retraced, and then kind of took out liquidity, and then now we are dropping. I still think we may continue to drop and see lows of 14,000 level here, which is maybe about 239 pips away. With NFP week, it's possible to get there very, very fast. And then maybe when you get to that level is when you'll probably, you know, bounce off and then maybe continue down to this zone here. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. But okay, this is subject to how the market opens. But yeah, looking bearish on Euro USD. So people, I really hope this has been helpful. I don't know what other pair you guys would ever want me to be looking at, but usually, as you know, I just look at the pairs that I like to trade. Maybe I can look at it as at an NZD or a CAD pair, CAD JPY. I like trading that as well when I don't see setups anywhere else. And this is looking bullish. Yeah, man, we close bullish. I feel like we're not done with grabbing liquidity upside. So we may see us pushing to the upside, Yeah, I'm bullish on CAD JPY. Let me see NZD JPY. Looking the same. We pushed up, we kind of retraced, but I think we are going to continue on. But yeah, we may. But let's see. Yeah, we are definitely bullish as well on NZD JPY. But we've been scaling lower highs. So, depends on how the market opens. Let me look at the 8-hour. So, we formed equal lows here, almost equal lows here. And then we began to push up. So there's a potential for us to push up to the 77.67 level, then maybe bounce off and continue on up, because there's a lot of liquidity up here that I'm thinking we should take out before any other move. So technically we've been consolidating, but we've really been on a bull run. Okay. So that's my take. So yes, guys, I hope this analysis has been helpful. I'll definitely look at how the markets open. If you're an early trader and you want to just get into the market, see if compared to what I've said, look at what happens when the market opens, and maybe you can grab a couple of pips. Last week I gave some setups, and by Monday morning we had done, the moves had, the currency our pairs had looked at had moved quite a number of pips. And I always say, sometimes if you do your analysis well on a Sunday or the previous day before the market opens, you can actually finish your trading week on the Monday and forget all the noise of NFP. You guys know how NFP is. It's just chaos and, bloodbath. And a lot of people get caught out trading NFP week, including myself. So yeah, that's just a tip. So thank you once again. Please smash that like button. Subscribe, guys. We're now at about 780 subscribers. We are so close to 1,000. Please share, get this content out to more people. Let more people learn how to trade. And yeah, see you soon, guys. Bye.